Okay, we have no citizens that have signed up to speak. So the first thing we have is an intermediate campus principals report and presentation. Ms. Reyes.
Good evening, Board of Trustees, Dr. Grandjean, all of our guests here tonight. So for our intermediate board report, we've decided to bring our student council. So we'd love for you guys to hear from our students rather than myself. Our student council sponsors are Ms. McGinn and Ms. McKinney. We call them MC squared. They are our student council sponsors. And then our student council members, I'm going to let them introduce themselves. So you guys want to stand up? Okay, and we can start right here.
My name's Kinsey Bendeley. My name's Esme Eats. And my name's Peyton Coleman. My name is Jada Palacios.
Awesome. And so our students have prepared a PowerPoint to present, and we also have a speech. And what we're really going to focus on is our Bronco broadcast. So if you can see by their shirts, that's kind of our theme this year and something that's new to the intermediate schools. So live from Devine, it's the Bronco broadcast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good morning, Broncos. Live from Devine, it's the Bronco broadcast. Today is Thursday, November 13th. I'm Peyton. And I'm Esme. We're excited you're joining us this week. Please stand, face the flag, and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now for the Texas Pledge. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible. Now please pause for a moment of silence. You may be seated. Here's your weather for today. It's going to be warmer with a high of 86 degrees. Sounds like a beautiful day ahead. Today for lunch, it's pizza day! Today is day 4 for specials. The lab color is blue too. Now for our school announcements. Birthdays. Happy birthday to Taylor Jacobs. And an extra special happy birthday to Miss Mark and Miss Heiser. Yay! Here's Erilyn with Thursday's UIL. 5th grade music memory until 4:30, 4th and 5th grade. Chess until 4:30. Ready writing all grades until 4:15. 5th grade dictionary skills until 4:30. Special events. Here's Callie with some important reminders. Reminder that the library is closed today. Remember that there is no school tomorrow, Friday, November 14th. Yay! Here's Jackie. At the holiday book fair.
The holiday book fair is going to come to our school on December 11th from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. There will be holiday crafts, treats, and pictures with the big guy himself, Santa!
Santa! Yay! Bronco Bucks. Here's Addison with 3rd grade Bronco Bucks.
Yes. Okay, I'm going to skip through our Bronco box. It's just kind of a little prize box thing that might take a little while.
Olivia. Jace. Have Esme from Miss Morales.
Sorry. Hey, that's you.
Peyton from Miss office to claim your pride. Oh, great job, great. Don't forget to go down to the office to claim your prize.
Here are 20 reasons why
our Broncos are thankful.
Cheeseburgers! Family! Home!
Christmas tree cakes.
Our
I'm thankful for you.
That's it for today's Bronco broadcast. Keep learning, keep leading, and always show your Bronco pride. Let's make it a great day. The Bronco way! How we do the Bronco broadcast. First, we go on this app called Screencastify, and we film from there. We film off of a computer. We just got a grant to buy an iPad, and we take pictures of special guests, and we put them on the video. We always film the day before we show the video, so if we had to do Friday's news, we would film Thursday. This is what we have done in the past. In the past, we have painted our basketball courts outside, we have had a fundraiser with Sonic, and we had a glow party to raise money. But this is what we plan to do in the future. In the future, we plan to go in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade restrooms and put affirmations in the stalls. Things like you are brave, you are kind, and you are amazing, etc. Mostly, we just want to beautify the school. Next, we plan to have an attendance party where kids who have good attendance can come into the gym one day and have a party with other people that also have good attendance. Another thing is to do a fun day where we will go into the gym and have a teachers versus kids events, such as basketball, racing, and who can make the biggest tower out of cups. And these are all just ideas, but we hope we can do them. Things we are doing now. We are doing the Bronco broadcast, and we're getting started with the new people in Student Council. Thank you for your time. This has been the Bronco Devine Intermediate Student Council.
You did a great job. Thank you.
Kevin's gonna do one.
Hello, Devine ISD School Board. I am Esme Eads, President of Student Council, Devine Intermediate Student Council. Thank you so much for inviting Student Council to speak here today. As you saw, our Vice President, Peyton Coleman, created a PowerPoint that showed how Student Council has impacted our campus, from painting a basketball court to planning an attendance. Student Council is an honor to be in, and all of our members are honored to be in it. As you know, it's only been the 2nd year of Student Council, but we've made a big difference in our school, and we couldn't have done it without working together. Every morning we come together to film the Bronco broadcast. Each person helps in a different way, such as our speakers, flag holders, and lunch calendar reporters. This is just one example out of so many that our members have worked together. Student Council is made up of different genders and ages striving to meet the same goal, making our school a better campus. Student Council works as a team to take on any task that our school can give us, because at the end of the day, we are all one team trying to make our school a better environment. Thank you.
Thank y'all so much. And before they go, do y'all mind if we get just one picture with the students standing here and maybe board members can stand up? Go ahead, guys, right here in front.
Come together. Come on over. Right here. I can see you. Come stand right here. I think you see me. You gotta take out.
1, 2, 3.
Thank y'all.
Good job.
Thank you,
Let's go.
Thank y'all for coming. That was great. That took care of our crowd, didn't it? That was wonderful.
Nice to see y'all.
That was wonderful. Thank you. Okay, next we will have our Student Health Services report. Ms. Wilson.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Sorry. Yes. Where do you want me to put something every? There you go.
I just need to be able to.
Yep. There.
Where's Jocelyn at?
She was involved in all of it.
I was hiding in the back.
Hard to see over
Do
here.
you have a clicker?
I'll click for you if you want.
Oh, there you go.
It's a touch screen too, I'm not really sure how it works.
Sometimes I fight with the one in my classroom. All right, well, good evening. It's time for our annual meeting again. Let's see.
Yeah, I think maybe
Did I touch
scroll.
it?
Oh, there we go.
This is fancy.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, every independent school district is required by law to have a school health advisory council, also known as SHAC, of which the majority of members must be parents who are not employed by the school district. SHAC is annually appointed by the local education agency board of trustees. Right, this is a list of our members, and I did make a boo-boo and I uploaded an old one, so these two individuals here, Miss Burnell, Miss Aaron, will have to remove. I do have the updated sheet if y'all would like to see it, but those will have to remove. Lots of school reps. We're getting more parent reps that are more involved, which is nice. That's always a struggle to get parent reps to come in, but we are getting more of them, and we have 2 new reps that we are asking for approval on. Miss Patricia Garcia, who is a teacher at the middle school, and then Miss Gina Morales, who is our new medical assistant for the district. Okay, what is SHAC? It's a group of individuals representing segments of the community and school district, which provides advice to the district on coordinated school health programming and its impact on student health and learning. So these are our 8 components. We have health education, health services, nutrition services, staff wellness, counseling and mental health services. So it encompasses all the important pieces that put our school district together. These are different state legislative requirements. Parent must serve as a chair or co-chair. A minimum of 5 members must be appointed by the Board of Trustees. Majority members must be parents not employed by the district, which we're still working towards in our parent involvement. We must meet at least 4 times a year. We must deliver our annual report, which we're doing tonight, and we submit recommendations regarding the district's health education curriculum. Our goals, increase the number of children in healthy fitness zone as assessed by fitness grams. We're seeing a better growth since we started last year doing our assessments at the beginning of the year and the end versus just the end of the year, so we're able to see growth in that. We still have our health fair every summer that we coordinate with our back to school event for our Stuff the Backpack. And then we want to increase number of healthy choices in the cafeteria by students. I know that intermediate does a lot with their kiddos on working with the nutrition department. We do annual school surveys and taste testing, different things like that to see what the kids are liking. Our activity report, we had our health fair and backpack event. We had 90 or so families that came in and participated. So that was great. We also had a very large donation come through, so we still have a lot of supplies that we have in storage. So as families come through the district, if they're in need of anything, they just send myself or Ms. Schneider an email, then we're able to go and get that and we deliver it to the school. So for the first time, we still have some supplies left over, so we can still help throughout the year, which is nice. We completed our Devine ISD wellness plan, which is a living document. We went over menu options for the new school year, our food surveys like I discussed for feedback, and then our December steps we're still doing. We do that at the high school, and it's very competitive. We have to break the coaches up. They're not allowed to be on the same team or we will all lose very badly. But that email went out today, so we do that at the high school and all the staff enjoy doing that. We discuss reasons to keep our kiddos home, when it's safe and healthy for them to come to school, when it's not. Information's posted on the media pages and reminds, and we also have a Google Classroom for the health department that we like to put important notices up, forms that parents may need and things like that. At the high school, we still have our staff wellness spot. So I've got the vitamin C, emergency, elderberries, teas, coffees, things like that for staff as they need it. We had our annual flu shot clinic in October, and so staff were able to get flu, shingles, pneumonia, tetanus, COVID vaccines without having to take a day off for work to go and get that.
Narcan and choking hazard response bags are located at every campus. August Heart was here last December on the 12th. They provided free cardiac screens to all students age 13 and up with parent permission, and we had roughly 39 students come through. We're going to work on a partnership with August Health where they can do this for our athletes as well for free of charge. All of our minutes and agendas are posted online. And Devine ISD now qualifies for the district distinction District of Lifesavers, as all 4 campuses in some way are partnered with American Heart Association. Starting this school year, students involved in student council, principals, crew, and NJHS at the middle school will be fully CPR certified with parent consent. Any questions?
Not having any questions? Good job.
Thank you.
Okay, next we go into our targeted improvement plans for our public hearing. First, I think Dr. Grandjean wants to speak.
Yes, ma'am. I'll go first. So thank you all for coming tonight to engage in our important conversation about our targeted improvement plan in light of our most recent accountability results from TEA. So what I'm going to do is walk you through how TEA's A through F accountability system works, what the key domains are, where Devine ISD stands in terms of our recent rating, and what positive factors and strategies we're going to use this year to move forward. So the A through F accountability system is designed to provide clear, transparent, and consistent information about how schools and districts are performing. Under House Bill 22 in 2017, this system was established to help eliminate achievement gaps between races, ethnicities, and socioeconomic statuses. It was also created to make sure that Texas is a national leader in preparing students for success after graduation. So your rating is determined across 3 domains, Domain 1, Domain 2, and Domain 3. These are student achievement, student growth, and closing the gaps, respectively. So to simplify this, Domain 1, student achievement, this domain looks at whether students are passing the state assessments for the year, whether they're on track for post-secondary readiness. Domain 2, the school progress, this domain examines whether students are making year-to-year growth per grade level, and did they learn more than they did the year before. Domain 3 is the student achievement, closing the gaps. So this domain looks at how specific subgroups by race, ethnicity, socioeconomic status, English language learners, and special education groups are doing, both in current achievement and in growth. So according to TEA, the A through F system balances rigor, fairness, and transparency. It establishes goals for preparing students for post-secondary success while also acknowledging success, effort, and progress. So the methodology was refreshed in the recent 2 years to more accurately reflect performance. So it's worthy noting that in many cases, a district or a campus's overall rating is determined by taking the better score of Domain 1 or Domain 2, and then that's 70% of your score. Then you take closing the gaps, which makes up the other 30%. So what this means in practice is if our students aren't yet passing at a high level, but they are showing clear year-to-year growth, that growth can be recognized. Conversely, high achievement but no growth isn't enough, and we want both, obviously. And then Domain 3 ensures that we're not leaving student groups behind. So what and why each domain matters and what it looks like. So student achievement, this domain basically asks, are our students meeting grade level standards this year? Are they on track for the next grade level? Are they on track for graduation and what comes after that? For example, passing state tests, meeting readiness benchmarks, college and career readiness, and focusing on student achievement. Student growth, Domain 2, this domain asks, even if students aren't yet meeting all standards, are they improving from year to year? Did they make more progress this year than they did last year? And are we moving the needle? Focusing here is important for growth. Domain 3, this domain asks, are all student groups succeeding? Are we narrowing gaps between groups who have historically had lower outcomes and lower outcomes than other groups? In this domain, we look at both achievement and growth for each defined student group. So, that little bit of a description will hopefully help us as we move forward, and we'll turn it over to Ms. Reyes for the intermediate.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Grandjean. Okay, so I'm going to present to you, Board of Trustees, our intermediate school targeted improvement plan for our school year 25-26. And so a little bit of background or the purpose of this plan. So Devine Intermediate School, as you know, was identified by the Texas Education Agency as a school needing improvement. So due to our accountability rating, which fell below an acceptable performance standard, we were required to develop and implement a TIP, or a targeted improvement plan. So the TIP outlines how our campus will address root causes of underperformance, how we're going to implement evidence-based strategies, and how we're going to monitor our progress toward ambitious student goals in reading and math. And so this presentation to you guys satisfies one of TEA's required assurances that we, as a campus and as a district, include all stakeholders and engage us all in being aware of the plan's content and focus areas and commitments. So that's what this presentation is about today. So as Dr. Grandjean talked about, we had to set some measurable goals in student achievement, and we also chose to set some goals in Domain 3. And so as he mentioned, our Domain 3 is going to focus on 4 key areas. So academic achievement, which tracks the percentage of students scoring at meets, which is on grade level in each subject. It also focuses on academic growth, as he stated, which measures where students improved from last year in reading and math. And then it also looks at our English language proficiency, so our emergent bilingual students and whether or not they've moved up in their TELPAS testing. And then it also looks at student success status, which is an overall grade level performance across all subjects, and whether our student groups are meeting or are moving toward the state target. So we have some baseline information or data for you here. So 2024-25, when we're looking at students in RLA, this is across all grade levels at the intermediate, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Our students who were at meets grade level or above, so that means they were on grade level or higher, we had a baseline of 37%. So 30% of our students were on grade level for last year's STAR test. So our outcome goal is going to grow at least 10 points in that specific subject to take us to 47%. Okay, and just some background, we've worked with Region 20 and accountability specialists to develop these goals, so we're not just taking a shot in the dark. We actually have some people that are helping us out. So in math, we had a little bit further to go. So for students that were on grade level or above, we had 21% in 24-25, and we're looking to get to 49%. So that seems like a lofty goal with 28 points, but we're going to do it. We're going to get there. Domain 3, there was a possibility of earning 32 points, and we unfortunately earned 0 of those points in our academic achievement. So we're looking at a 60% growth for our target goal to possibly get 19 out of 32 points. And then if you're looking at our growth status, we scored 1 out of 32. We're trying to get 65% growth in a year to 21 out of 32 points. For our ELP, or our emergent bilingual students, we had a baseline of scoring 4. We scored 0. We're looking for a 40% growth to score 2 of 4 points. And then for our student success status, 0 out of 16 points. We're looking to score 8 out of 16 for 50% growth in 1 year. So these goals reflect our campus's focus on improving proficiency and growth, especially for our Domain 3 students, which are those special populations are, like we mentioned, emergent bilingual, SPED, ECO-DIS, economically disadvantaged students. So we're looking to do that for our goals for this year. So as part of the TIP, we had to have a data review and a root cause analysis, and through that process, we identified the following key issues. So what we noticed when we were going through this process is that we definitely had an inconsistent curriculum, as well as varying levels of fidelity with the usage of said curriculum, particularly in math and reading. We also noticed that we had insufficient alignment between planning, instruction, and assessment. So we were just out of line for all of those pieces. When we're looking at our intervention and our reteaching strategies, we were showing a limited use of progress monitoring tools. And then obviously, we also were having some gaps in our instructional support for new and developing teachers. So those were some of the root causes that we identified through data disaggregation of the STAR, through our TELPAS data, through local assessments, through feedback from our site-based decision-making committee. So all of these were our root cause analysis for why we ended up in school improvement. So what our focus is going to be, our turnaround focus plan is the framework that guides the TIP is built around high quality instruction. So we definitely wanted to tighten that up. It is also progress monitoring and targeted support. So we definitely knew even before our accountability rating came out that we were seeing the gaps in the instruction. We knew that we needed to implement a high quality instructional material. So the HQIM that you see there, we knew that we needed that even before we got our accountability score. So Bluebonnet Math was coming regardless. And so as the state of Texas has vetted that curriculum, it is a high quality instruction material. We're glad to have it, even with the growing pains, because we really do think that it's going to turn us around, especially in our math area. So we did implement Bluebonnet this year, and then we are using TEA approved RLA products, trying to kind of hop along with the curriculum that we have right now until we get into the planning stages of an HQIM for reading. We also knew that our common formative assessments needed to be a lot more aligned, so we're doing a lot more with our backwards designing to make sure that our assessments are meeting the rigor of our class, or the rigor of our instruction is meeting our assessments, and then we're also using IXL for our diagnostic testing, which is a computer-based program. Our focus is also going to be on conducting bi-weekly, it's really weekly, coaching cycles aligned with TEA strategies. So along with the HQIM, we've gotten a lot of support through Region 20 product specialists for HQIM and for Bluebonnet. So we're having those coaching cycles. The leadership team is in conversations with Region 20 specialists as well. And then we're also strengthening our intervention systems. So we hope to bring on a high dosage individualized tutoring program so that during our intervention time, those students are getting their targeted intervention, hopefully one-on-one. But if not one-on-one, then definitely with data-driven small groups. And that's during our Bronco time, which is our intervention block. We also want to build capacity in all of those staff members who are new or developing teachers, and so that goes on with ongoing job-embedded professional learning and professional development. We hold weekly PLCs where our instructional specialist meets with teachers to internalize lessons, to make sure that teachers are getting the support that they need. So another component of the TIP are the milestones, and so each milestone defines specific checkpoints to ensure implementation with fidelity and that our progress towards our new goals are being met. And so our milestone, first one would have been this month, November 2025. Our grade level teams are submitting evidence of HQIM lesson alignment. Also, our walkthrough data is reviewed for fidelity. As I mentioned, those product specialists are with us once a week, so they're making sure that our teachers are internalizing lessons, and that when they're doing walkthroughs with us, that we're targeting the look-fors that they suggest should be there for implementation of Bluebonnet. By February, we're hoping to have our mid-year data review, which shows increased student progress on our middle of the year diagnostic through IXL. We'll also be taking local benchmarks. We're actually going to do that in December, not February, so a little bit sooner than that. And then by April, we're hoping that at least 80% of our teachers demonstrate proficiency on our targeted instructional look-fors. So those walkthroughs that we do, making sure that they're comfortable and familiar with those look-fors that we're looking at when we walk into a classroom. And then by May, we'll see if we meet or exceed our targeted STAR improvement goals. Hopefully we get some raw data and can find out how we're doing. And so those milestones are tracked through our campus leadership meetings, through PLC times, formal TEA reporting, and things like that. The next component of the TIP is the performance management, and so the plan outlines a clear performance management system to monitor campus improvement. So administrators and teachers receive ongoing coaching, data analysis sessions, professional learning on campus focus areas. As I mentioned, the observation and feedback rounds that occur weekly with evidence captured using a rubric that has those instructional look-fors and HQIM look-fors. The leadership team meets weekly to review implementation data, adjust support as needed, and then our progress is reviewed each 6 weeks to ensure alignment between student outcomes and adult actions. So, let's see. Capacity development, capacity building, and professional development. And so these are our efforts that are differentiated by staff experience. So new teachers are receiving increased coaching and modeling support through our instructional specialists as well as our Bluebonnet product advisors. Experienced teachers are engaging in peer observations as well as data-driven instructional leadership. Our special populations are receiving training focused on TELPAS growth, inclusion practices, scaffolding, and then leadership. Myself and Mr. Markham are provided leadership through our central office support as well as our Region 20 school improvement team. And so we hope that these job embedded trainings and reflection cycles ensure professional learning translates directly into improved classroom instruction. So the resource allocation for the TIP details how funds and resources are allocated to support improvement. So we have Title I and local funds. Oopsie, I didn't mean to do that. Sorry, I'm almost done, I promise. Let me get back.
As it clicks.
Let's see.
One more back.
One more back. I clicked the wrong button, I'm sorry. There we go. Okay, Title I and local funds for coaching and tutoring. And then we are also the recipients of grant-funded support through our Strong Foundations grant. And so that is utilized for implementation purposes as well as professional development. We have strategic scheduling, which protects our intervention and coaching time. And then we have also invested in data systems like IXL and Eduphoria. Okay, and then the stakeholder engagement and assurances. So stakeholder engagement is central to the TIP process. So we have presented to our campus teachers as well as our site-based team. We had a parent engagement meeting, and then we are presenting to the Board of Trustees for you guys to review the plan and hopefully approve it. And then we will present it, or what is it? Submit it. There you go. Submit. Couldn't think of the word. Submit it to TEA by Friday. And then there's some monitoring that goes along with that. Once we do submit that, then we have the frequent data analysis for student, teacher, and grade levels, and then walkthroughs for checklists aligned to the TIP priorities, the TEA submissions, and then our action plans. And then the next steps, you guys get to review and acknowledge, and then we submit the plan by the 21st, and then the continuing monitoring cycles, and a unified focus on continuous improvement and student success. So that is it. Any questions? I know I talked really fast. I'm sorry.
Okay. So you do not have the tutoring set up?
We have plans in place to do a high dosage one-on-one tutoring model during our intervention time. So yes, we are in deep talks with them. We actually have secured some funding through a Region 20 program. When you're in school improvement, everybody wants to help you. So we have some finance and funding that's coming through, and then we'll have just a small portion that the district is responsible for. So I have another onboarding meeting with them first week of December to see that we can move forward. And so they're going to target our students who are kind of what we consider bubble students that are right on that cusp of meets to masters, and hopefully get them the one-on-one support that they need to boost them just a little bit more. So yes.
And what about parent involvement? I know you had an engagement. Did you have?
We did. No, it was not heavily attended, but we have feedback continuously from parents through just either meetings, parents coming in, phone calls, teacher conferences, things like that. So not necessarily a whole lot of feedback on the TIP, although we do have a parent and a community member on our site-based team, so they were also part of the process to create this plan. But most of the parent feedback is along the lines of HQIM and Bluebonnet math, which I'm sure you're familiar that's what they're asking.
Yes, that is.
Yeah.
We hear a lot about that, and so
Right.
you would hope when you'd have these meetings when they'd have the opportunity to come and see how they can engage. It's a shame that they don't.
Yeah, it's here and we're doing it, and so there's not much once you've met with them, that we can tell them except that we're working through it.
And I think a lot of it is they want to know how they can.
For sure.
Learn it to do it, to help.
Right.
Kids, so, thank you.
You're welcome.
Next, we have Severa.
I was going to say, you're not going to be razzled and dazzled on black and white. More maroon and white. Yeah, how about that? And I got my logo up there, so we're going. Sandra just laid out an excellent plan that our campus is pretty much following in suit. So there's going to be a lot of repetition. I have a condensed version that I'll go over with you. But one of the main things that you need to understand about our campus and the difference between us and the intermediate is that we don't take STAR from pre-K to 2. So why are we in with the accountability? It's because the way TEA has this set up is that we are paired. Our scores are paired with whatever the intermediate has. So we inherit, and it's in our best interest to provide them the best prepared students that we can. So one of the first things I did when I took this position was kind of do an overview of what are we doing right now. And this is before the accountability even came out. We looked at curriculum. That's our number one mover for scores. And we found that we were just doing a lot of things inconsistently. So one of the first things we wanted to do was just get everyone on a good baseline model and a good starting point, and that's what we focused on. So we can skip a few of these. We can skip this one. So a lot of the things have already been covered. We can skip this. Well, if you don't mind, right there's good. Our outcome goals. Now, we don't have particular data that we can measure our STAR scores from year to year. So what we're doing is basing it off of how well we do on our campus-wide assessment. So for reading, we're using in-class. For math, we're using IXL, and we want to see what type of improvement that we can do from our beginning of the year, middle of the year, and of course at the end of the year. We're hoping to see improvement in each phase. We set some pretty ambitious goals to try to improve our points from, currently our kids were rated at reading at about a 54%, which is not acceptable. So we're looking to bump that up to a 64%. How do we move it 10 points? And that's 10% moving, what we're talking about. It's being very intentional with what we are doing. Again, baseline, good teaching. We're not really targeting the highest needs with all of our resources. We're targeting good instruction across the board. That's our tier 1 instruction. If we believe that with good tier 1 instruction in our math and reading, we will start to see those results. And the problem with doing any of this is that it takes time to see the results. We can see short-term gains, and one of the things that is important is just tracking this. I don't think we really paid attention to how we track our kids, so that's one thing that's new to the campus. We're really focused on that. Can I do it up here?
Yeah, on the right side.
Okay, I'll try doing that over here. Let's see if I can do that. Oh, sorry. All right.
I can push it for you.
Yes, that'll work. All right, so again, one of the things that I noticed is that we just had some inconsistencies. We were fortunate enough at Savara to have HQIM curriculum already, so we didn't have to go out and try to find good curriculum. We currently are using MyView, and that's for our reading, and we are, of course, using Bluebonnet for our math. And the problem was, I believe, last year in some of the implementation, class to class, there was no consistency in how well it was being used. So you may have one teacher who's all in with Fidelity and the next teacher partially using it and the other one may be doing something totally different. All aligning to our TEKs, but inconsistent with class to class. Today, if you walk into our classrooms, you could take a kid out of one classroom, move them into another, and they're going to be on the same page, same level, and that's consistent in math and reading. So that's a huge win already, and it's just going to keep. We're trying to build on that. Again, like I mentioned, Tier 1, Fidelity and progress monitoring. We are in classrooms daily, except for today. When you get swamped, things happen. It's hard to get in there. So part of our plan was be intentional about being in the classrooms and monitoring. So we schedule it out. We do classroom monitoring to make sure that the program is being used with fidelity. Not only from an administrative point of view, but with our instructional coach going in as well and assisting. We're doing this in the approach of, we're here to help you get better. So if there's something you need or resources or whatever, we get that feedback. We try to have a good open communication with all of our teachers. Okay. Again, our turnaround plan is just full implementation of the MyView and Bluebonnet. Our win time is mostly used for targeted intervention. Anytime that's available for reteaching, we want to use that, but it's really, that's the time we break up the kids who are into our small groups so the teacher can do some good work with them, where others who are getting the lesson are just advancing themselves by using either Zern for our math program and Zern and IXL. Okay. On. Okay, this is a good one. Our milestones. What we're trying to do is make sure that our HQIN is aligned through our walkthroughs, and that's already happening. All these things that we're talking about doing, they're already in place. We are doing this right now. So we are actively monitoring for our November 2025. We discuss issues, concerns, that internalization process. That's what we do in our PLCs, and we use the resources from Region 20 as well to help us with any hurdles that are in our way. For next year, we're going to be taking our in-class, and we want to start seeing where our middle of the year scores landing. We still have time to close those gaps towards the end of the year if we don't see that we're on track. Our proficiency, we're wanting 80% of our teachers to be proficient in what they're doing. So we are actively monitoring our T-test standards for instruction, and we check on that and provide them feedback as well. And by the end of next year, we're hoping that we either meet or exceed all of our targets for growth for the year. Again, our performance, we're doing our walkthroughs. It says bi-weekly, but it's almost daily. Our PLCs are done every week. We do some data dives, some deeper dives, and it's arranged at different, based on what the teacher's needs are as a group. We tailor our PLCs to focus on what they need. We just don't want to have trainings on things that people already have mastered. So depending on what's needed, that's what drives our meetings, PLCs, and the data-driven instruction. Okay. For our capacity building and our professional development, again, like the intermediate, we're looking at our new teacher mentorship. Since we are using HQIM in both our math and reading, we are very focused on supporting them and understanding it. I know at the beginning of the year, it was very new for folks to just be all in, and we just kind of set that expectation, and we're very fortunate that the campus has some amazing teachers who have gone all in, and we're getting it. We're over those growing pains right now, so now it's a matter of mastering it and getting better, but it's again, it's a time thing that we're dealing with right now. Our special ed and emergent bilinguals, we're really targeting them as well because we need to see growth in that area. So when we do send them up to the intermediate, they will be better prepared, and there's no going back and reteaching or focusing on any special populations that we have. And then again, yes, we are part of the Region 20 cohort with the intermediate. We do a lot of things to be in total alignment. So what we do is beneficial, not that what we're doing is something totally foreign when they get up to 3rd grade. Okay. Our allocations, we're using the Bluebonnet materials. We have the HQIM training and using that grant to fully support our staff in understanding everything. Our Title I, I think one of the biggest things that we're maybe doing a little bit different is our instructional coaches are really focused on our 2nd grade right now, so we can give them a good boost. And then when they make that change into 3rd grade or transition into 3rd, we'll focus on 2nd. And by then, we're hoping that this year's 1st graders have already gone through the curriculum and are better prepared. So in 2nd grade, we're not having to spend so much time, and hopefully start getting more targeted intervention for like those bubble kids. Our stakeholder engagement was last week. We had a parent engagement meeting. We did have some parents show up and had some very, very good questions about Bluebonnet. It was mostly focused on Bluebonnet. But fortunately, we were able to really dispel some of the social media comments about Bluebonnet and get more realistic on why we are using it. And it was good. It was good that we had a good exchange, and I think a lot of it is just educating everybody on what it really is. It's new, it's different, it's causing folks to get a little uncomfortable because it's not how we've been doing things. But we did have a good turnout of folks with a lot of questions, so we got through that. Again, we are doing the same type of evaluation. We don't have STAR, so we're using a lot of our weight on the M-Class and IXL data results. Continuous walkthroughs will help us check to make sure our TIP plan is working, and of course we will adjust if we feel like it's not, or report back to you that we need to make a change to our plan. But we feel like as of right now, we're already doing all these things. We like what we see. We're just hoping that we can continue to see this improvement and support as we continue through our school year. Okay. The 21st, we have to submit our plan along with the intermediate. Since we are a separate campus, we have to do a separate plan. We are very much in alignment, and I think that was the most important thing to me, is make sure that with Ms. Reyes that we talk a lot about how we're sending our kids up there, what curriculum we're using, and just keeping those lines of communication open for vertical alignment. So their 3rd graders coming up next year will be better prepared than they have been in the past. And that's our goal. So any questions that I can answer for you?
I'm glad you had a better turnout.
They thought it was mine.
Yes, I did ask. They could have asked you all those questions, but they showed up. But no, it was fine. It's good. The more, the better. We can let them know where we stand and what it's really about.
Good.
I'm curious to see the data in March from your February to see how it's going.
Any questions? Okay, thank you.
Those are some lofty goals y'all have, so.
We got it.
All right, Miss D.
Well, the razzle dazzle is much less. We're going downhill here. our school is different than all the other campuses. I know most of the board understands that. I'm not sure if you understand how we're set up. I have one room and an aide. It's me and an aide, that's it. So most of the stuff they talked about don't apply to me. I knew we were going to have a problem. One of the things we have done is they come part-time, they come half-time. They can always come and stay more hours last year. This year is a little bit more difficult, and I'll explain why. But they all seem to come at the same time, and then there was too many kids there at once and a little bit more distracting than it should have been. So we separated it into 2 shifts. We have an 8 to 12 shift, and then we extended our school hours 30 minutes, and we have a 12 to 4 shift. And generally, it's upperclassmen in the morning, because most of them have jobs, and underclassmen in the afternoon. We have a few exceptions for extenuating circumstances, to make it easier on the parents or the kids or whatever it is. And it also, I was able to increase our cap of the number of students that we could take. We could have 25, but if you had 20 of them come at the same time, which is what that seemed to be, that's too many of those type of students at once. So now we have 15-ish, because they get moved to the morning class. If they get enough credits, they get moved down each shift. So it's a lot more focused. That's one of the first changes we made. The second is, I looked at our list, and we had, according to our list, 50 kids that went through the school last year. And for the most part, these kids are more of the underperforming kids. That's why they come to us. Or they have medical issues, or they were homeschooled, and if they're homeschooled, the majority of them seem to come because of anxiety or those kind of issues. And most of the homeschool don't have the solid foundation that kids that go to our elementary and middle school have. So we get those kind of kids. And I went through our list last year, and it says 50 kids went through, and really it was 49 because one student, for extenuating circumstances, was going to come and try to graduate in August, but because of certain things he couldn't, so he really only attended one day, the last week of school. So I took that number, and we had an unusually high amount of 2 sub-pops that came to our school versus we've been in existence for, this is our 7th year, I believe. And last year, the year before, we were rated at a 71. This year was 51, I believe. And so I knew exactly why right away. Out of the 50 kids, 10 of them was special education. That's 20%. And 10 of them was English as a second language, and they mostly spoke the other language in the class. And they get their accommodations and all that, but they have extremely difficult time passing their STAR tests. I can't imagine trying to pass biology in Spanish or Chinese or something like that, you know what I'm saying? So with the English as a second language students, they have to pass just like every other student. So they take their test every time. So they have 3 opportunities to take that test per year. And there's 4 tests. So that's 12 opportunities that they get. Most of those students were not able to get there. They would be able to maybe pass 3, and then we could waive the 2 if they did everything that we asked to on the graduation plan. But that's 12 opportunities in 1 year for one student to not be successful. Versus if you pass it, you only have to pass it 1 time, that's 4 opportunities for the same student. And we get the lower end of the students, so the few kids that are more of the higher performers, they came to us maybe with medical issues or something. They had already passed all their STAR exams, so we didn't have that upper end pulling our lower scores up, if that makes sense. And then our special ed kids, best practice and what I've done at every campus I've ever been at, in every district I've ever been at, is you have them take the tests every time until the very end, and then you can accept their scores through a special education meeting. They call them the ARDs. And then we just accept the scores as they are, whether they're passing or not. And for example, I had one student who should be graduating this year. I'm so happy for her finally. Who she had not passed any of them. So I mean, that's 12 failures just for one student. But so talking with the Region 20 representative, we are accepting their scores a lot sooner than we had in the past. So we don't get the accumulation of low scores. If I would have done that for that one student, that would have been 11 failures that we didn't count. If that makes sense. That's a big difference when you only have 50 kids. So that's a big change. And we don't, most of our students come from high school. And then the rest, we had a really high number of English as second. We never had that many in the past. It was a group of them that went to schools together. Remember, one of them was on track to graduate. None of them wanted to walk the stage without all of them. Yeah, remember that? So they all walked the stage in August. But this year we're down to 4 versus 10. And I'm just going to cap that number there so we can get them through. And then the other students, we are just going to accept their scores a lot sooner. And then we have the EOC reviews that they will study over Christmas break, or not Thanksgiving break, before they come back and right after they come back and take their STAR test, because they all come in June. I had 100% of my students come and take the test they needed to in June. If I say they got to be there, they come there. So I think those, in a nutshell, would be more than enough to get us over and go back. And I mean, our scores vary because out of the 50 kids, 22 graduated. That's almost half. So our population changes every year. So, and this year, we don't have these kind of numbers like we did in the past. So that's not quite the same kind of thing as that they were talking about. You guys, it's just a totally different world. Yes. So do you guys have any questions? So anyways.
I think it's a great program.
I'm pretty proud of the kids. They really, it's more than just learning their academics. It's a lot more than that.
And there's nothing on that form that says anything about what they went through or...
No, and I think we get graded on a different type of scale for schools like ours, which is why we've never been in this situation before. We just had an unusually high number of those students come, most of them come from high school. So we had an unusually high number last year that came to us last year. And of course, I'm the one who's like, yeah, send them over, I'll take them all, so... they're getting there. They're getting there. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, you got a question for me?
No.
Oh, my drink. Yes. Trying to get my water in.
Okay, that's great. Thank y'all all for your presentations tonight. Very interesting.
Impressive.
Now we go into our administrative reports, and we'll start with Dr. Grandjean.
All right. Engagement and focus continues to shine across the campuses, both in academics and daily interactions. Teachers and staff play a vital role in creating welcoming and well-organized learning spaces where students feel supported and engaged. We're also completing our application for LASSO 4, which is a Learning Outcomes Grant. LASSO 3 was what we obtained to help with the implementation of Bluebonnet, and having Region 20 in here to be such a support group for us. LASSO 4 will be the key point in complementing our ELA curriculum. As you know, Bluebonnet Math has launched with the Strong Foundations support weekly professional development, and our Region 20 partners are amazing in that. Teachers are far more excited now about the curriculum's structure and the focus on critical thinking, problem solving, and foundation fluency. This is not going down. All right. So we have all of our current vacancies posted on the website. Currently active in the process of addressing some staffing requirements, and still have the same need custodians. We are down a bus driver, so we're kind of short-handed there, but teacher-wise, we need to fill a position or two at intermediate. Other than that, I think we're in good shape. Like I said, campuses will start to gear up for middle of the year testing. Our district operations continue to run smoothly. Data-driven decisions are being implemented. We have monthly principal meetings here at central office, bring all four principals over and their instructional specialists, and we carve out curriculum questions, instruction questions, and then we skip a week, and then the following week I will go to the campus and meet with the AP and the principal and the instructional specialists on their campus individually for their school to discuss situational things there. Bond project, construction projects across the district continue to show steady progress. Tennis courts, all the concrete has been poured except for, they call them the Mow strips, which is really where the spectators sit. Those weren't poured with the slabs for the tennis courts because the tennis courts are post-tension slabs, and then these walkways are just going to be regular steel reinforced rebar slabs. Poles are up for the fencing. Softball field, all new fencing, had the infield regraded. All the concrete is currently poured that we're going to have over there. Dugouts are up, just need roofing and some of the interior finishes there. We had an update today with the contractor. The cosmetology lab is we're just smidgens away from that opening, right? Don't you think? Have mirrors up, bowls, wash bowls, all of the casework shelves and cabinets are in. The downstairs high school, they said they're finishing the painting today. As soon as they finish painting, then they can put the flooring in. The casework is there. Spring break, is that what I said? Or quicker?
What do you say, 2 months?
Do what? He keeps we give him a hard time. Middle school, boys' locker rooms are nearly finished. Girls' locker rooms were about 3 steps behind just because they started on that side first. All the ACs are set on the roof. The elementary new offices are dried in. If you went by there, the outer walls are not in, and they haven't started really much of the classroom the office framework. And our intermediate work is due to start the day school adjourns this year. May of 2026 is when they'll start working over there. They said they need to kind of get everybody out of the way. And that is like a key. That's the main door coming in and out of the building, so we're going to wait there. And I think that's it.
So is the bus loop finished?
Yes.
Will
But
they start using it anytime?
no, not until we get the office situation,
That's what I
because that
thought.
way they won't be walking through there.
Okay.
And he actually was wanting that to sit for a while, right? Was wanting the asphalt to sit. He said we've had it poured for.
Yeah.
Or what was he saying? We do. We're getting the marquee. They're working on that right now to get the dimensions to create the pad that the marquee will sit on out front. And then once they get that poured and constructed, then we'll start on the landscaping in the front. But he doesn't want to put all the grass out there and then the guys, run into an issue. But we did look on they ran sleeves in everything that they did before, so we'll be able to take irrigation to that front part, and it will run off of a well that we use to water the softball field. So we won't be on city water for that.
Maybe the trees will survive.
That's it. That's what we're hoping, is to get water to where trees, it's over 200 pallets of grass that they're going to put out there, and we want to make sure that we're able to keep it nice.
Okay.
That is all for sure.
Anybody else have questions about this report? Okay, we can run through the next couple of reports if y'all have any questions. First for, before that, Mr. Gomez, do you want to give anything on the safety and?
Oh, I don't have it in front of me, but
We have it.
if you have any questions, I can answer. There was some updates, some big ones. We got our EOPs approved by the Texas School Safety Center for this upcoming school year. Most of the major updates were including special education students into the preparation and planning and of your drills and things like that, and substitute teachers. That was, they sent it back to me like 2 times because they wanted a specific wording in there, but so that's all been approved. We got our big, can't remember the HB because there's like 400 of them now, but HB 36 or 35, it's the shields and the breaching tools and so we bought some really cool cases. They're at each campus now, and I do have the breaching tools. They came in separate to save us on shipping, and I just put the one in the high school case, and it's pretty intense little tool. It's big, you know. But we're compliant there, so that's good. And then I'm sure I'm forgetting a couple things, but yeah, we had our safety committee meeting, kind of provide everybody an update on there. We've installed law enforcement key access there. We've partnered with the city. They all have a master key, all of our local PD people, and then so those boxes are kind of for like sheriff, DPS, or somebody that may not have access to it that has a PIN number that dispatch will have that anybody can access that they call dispatch. So just providing them access to our schools, making sure that access, and then of course to classrooms, whatever, all the things that came out of Uvalde, kind of the studies. So Dr. Grandine did you go to the FBI thingy? Mm-hmm. Okay. We went to a Region 20 safety meeting.
Last Tuesday. Was it last Tuesday or Wednesday? I don't remember what day it was. Anyway, we're in a cohort of safety directors and police chiefs for different school districts. The first part of the meeting was DPS was talking to us about, it's an application on your phone very similar to like LifeSpot, but law enforcement agencies use it and the safety directors. So you'd be able to see, instead of like on our LifeSpot where you can see where all the guardians are, these guys can see where all the law enforcement officials are at any given times. And then you can punch one to say if there's a sheriff at Walmart and we're here, if you punch his button, it'll automatically dial him and say, hey, I need you at school right away.
It's pretty neat. It's pretty intense. Yeah.
And then the FBI came and gave an update of domestic terror groups and kind of talked about some of the signs, and there's going to be a training in San Antonio that Rodriguez, is that the guy that used to be he offered any of us that want to go to that, but just how the internet is not always our friend when it comes to stuff like that, for sure.
This AI stuff too.
And the last update, I think we got all the doors in for,
yes,
and those are being installed, and all the hardware is being. We had done a district walk, and then this is outside of the bond work for just other doors, some at the high school, middle school, all over that just needed to be updated and fixed and make sure they're closing right and the hardware is good. So that work has already begun.
Starts tomorrow.
Starts tomorrow. There you go. Cool. So, good. Yeah.
Very good. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, next we have HR management report from Don Snyder and special education report. Our business reports from Shannon. No questions on any of those. Okay. And then our principals reports. We've had quite a bit of the principal report tonight. Okay. And then our director's reports also. Okay, there are no questions on the reports. We'll move to our consent agenda, which includes our minutes, a budget amendment, approving the CIPA policy for the technology resources, student health advisory committee members that she had mentioned to add, the approval of our cast votes for the election for the Medina County Appraisal District member, the donations from the Devine Education Foundation, which are quite a few and very grateful for. So do I have a motion on that first?
Madam President, I move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Wow, that was everybody. I'll go ahead and take Carrie, just because she's close. Did anybody have any questions on any of these items? Okay. Then please raise your right hand. Oh, you already got it up. Thank you. That passes 7-0. Moving into the action items, consider and take possible action to approve the district and campus goals and objectives for the campus and district improvement plans. We just heard the improvement plans. Now we need to look at the goals.
So the board annually approves district and campus performance objectives and goals and ensures that the district and campus plans are mutually supportive to accomplish identified objectives and support the state goals and objectives under the Texas Education Code. So I'd like to make a recommendation that we approve the district and campus goals and objectives.
Y'all saw all of those in your packet. I know we had 5,000 pages to read this time, but could I have a motion on that? If we have any questions, we can ask.
Madam President, I move to approve district and campus goals and objectives for the campus and district improvement plans as presented.
Second.
That's Carl.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I have a motion by Henry and a second by Carl to approve the district and campus goals and objectives. Anybody have any questions on that before we vote? All right, may I have your vote, please? Right hand. Thank you. That passes 7-0. Next, consider and take possible action to consider superintendent's recommendation regarding the designation of 10 non-business days for consideration of Public Information Act requests for the 2026 calendar year.
So in 2023, with House Bill 3033, it amends the Public Information Act by limiting the number of non-business days that school districts have to consider whenever we do our response to public information. Legislation greatly reduces response times for PIA requests when districts are closed for business, and it requires board action to designate the non-business PIA days. So there was no change to the 10 non-business day deadline for a government body to respond to PIA requests, order requests, and the Attorney General opinion. There was a significant change to what constitutes non-business days for PIA, and that's where we just have to designate which days that we will show. So our non-business PIA days would be January 2nd, March 11th, March 12th, March 13th, November 23rd, 24th, 25th, December 21st, 24th, and 31st.
So they give you some of the time around your holidays and all, but not all.
Right.
So, okay. And this is just for PIA requests. So.
Yes, ma'am.
Could I have a motion on that?
Madam President, I move that the district designate the following days as non-business days in accordance with the Texas Government Code Section 552.031F for the 2026 calendar year and all the days that Dr. Grandjean just mentioned.
All right. Second. Okay. That's a second for Carrie. All right. So we have a motion by Carl and a second by Carrie. All in favor say, raise your right hand, please. Passes 7-0. Consider and take possible action to approve the payment of an employee stipend for the fiscal year 2024-25.
Last year, I don't know if everybody remembered, but when we first started the school year, Coach Rotrammel had potentially decided he wasn't going to be doing powerlifting for the year. As time went by, Jimbo actually went to him and said, hey, we would like for you to go ahead and coach. This was after the year started. So in the midst of paperwork trying to get completed, we never did put that stipend into his pay scale. And so for us to go back and retroactively pay him, it has to be a school board public purpose resolution. And so I'm asking that you guys pass this public purpose resolution to pay Coach Rotrammel for $2,500 for coaching powerlifting last year.
Okay. Can I have a motion on that, please?
Madam President, I move that the board approves the payment of an employee stipend for fiscal year 24-25 as presented and make a finding that the public purpose of the retention of highly qualified staff is served by approving this amended stipend schedule for the assistant powerlifting coach. I further move that the board make a finding that sufficient controls are in place to ensure that the district's public purpose is served and that the district is receiving the range for benefit.
Okay.
Second.
Say, I think that's Henry.
Did you write that?
No. I have a motion by Ally and a second by Henry to approve the payment to this employee for the stipend. All in favor, raise your right hand, please.
That's lawyer speak.
Thank
Yes,
you.
that was Dick Jameson.
Needed to be done. Okay, consider and take possible action to approve the targeted improvement plan.
So as you saw, the plans presented tonight, this is in conjunction with the effective school framework system model that we're using as specified by TEA and Region 20's partnering with us to be a big help. So I'm asking that you approve the targeted improvement plans for elementary, intermediate, and DLA as presented.
Okay. I have a motion.
Madam President.
Go ahead.
Madam President, I move to approve the target improvement plan for Shavera Elementary, Devine Intermediate, and the Devine Learning Academy as presented.
Second by Candace. Right. I have a motion by Henry and a second by Candace. All in favor, raise your right hand, please. All right, thank you. 7-0. Consider and take possible action to approve the teacher's incentive allotment spending plan. That Dr. Gomez over there.
Oh, yes. I'll present it, and then if you have questions, I brought Ms. McReynolds here. She's our TIA expert. The high school, obviously, we're TIA campus, and so 90% of the compensation from TIA obviously goes to our teachers for their recognition. This plan that we're presenting to you is for the 10% that's allotted for districts who support their designations and support the process of TIA. And so we've come up with a plan, included some roles of people that have contributed to the TIA process. Do you guys have a copy of this one? Okay, so I won't go through it all, but most of it is in regards to the compliance, the testing, the documentation, the evaluation, and support and the oversight functions of TIA. And so we've divided it up into a percentage allocation per role based off of the varying responsibilities. And, oh, there it is, yeah. Based off the various responsibilities. So what's important to note here is this is for the high school for this year. So as we bring in the rest of the campuses, so right now basically the high school is paying for every district position that we have because we're the only campus that we're paying all those functions. So next year's plan will look a little different because these district leads or district TIA, that allocation will be divided over 4 campuses, and so the evaluators might be able to get more next year and things like that. So for the purpose of this year, just for this campus, we're taking all the responsibility of funding all those functions in full. So we met and kind of felt like this was an appropriate allocation for the work that's being done by each of those individuals to meet what we need to do for TIA.
Because it's additional responsibility.
It's additional responsibilities, absolutely. A lot of responsibilities. Leanne's taking on a tremendous amount of that. So we felt this was an appropriate way, as well as acknowledging all the other support from central office and all the way through.
So much documentation.
A lot of documentation, a lot of compliance, a lot of data submission, a lot of meetings, a lot. So
if it's not perfect.
Yeah, so we did submit. I'll let Leanne tell you kind of where we're at in it. So give them a little update.
So we have submitted 9 teachers' names. So we're hoping that we'll hear back in April that they are approved and they get their nice bonuses. the bonuses, we have, you want me to get specific on what levels were submitted of teachers? We have, I don't know if you have a copy of the guidebook. I don't know. There's the 3 different levels. I'll hold mine up if it's not on there. We have...
It's there somewhere.
There's the last page of the first packet.
Yeah, it's the last page of the guidebook. But, so we submitted 9 teachers. The lowest level, we submitted 1 teacher, which is recognized. And if you'll go all the way to the end of the document. It's a colored...
There we go.
Okay, so that's the highest level. I can start there. So we have 4 teachers that we put 4 of our teachers' names forward for the master's level. They deserve it. They're our top ones. You could probably sit here and think of the 4 top ones. And yes, that's them. And as far as how they get designated for the three different levels, you can see there it says 70% or more of the students met growth. So the students in their class from the beginning of the year to the end of the year, they had 70% or more that met growth. And then on their T-test, that's also part of the meeting the requirements for the master's level, their T-test has to average out to a 4.5. So way more than proficient, get a lot of accomplished and some distinguished on their domains. So the next level is, the next highest is the exemplary level. We also have 4 teachers who put names forth on that level from the high school. And you can see I forgot to mention, but the nice bonuses that they could receive at the end of the year.
So we're not all the way to these maxes.
I think we're at 16.
Yeah.
16,000.
The top one, we're like at
20.
The top, the master's level is just over 24,000.
24,000, which is 16.
And then the exemplary level, it's specific to the district. And the exemplary level should receive over 13,000.
Wow.
So we have 4, as I said, in that. And like I said, 60% of their students met growth, 60% or more met growth, and their T-test average on their appraisals was 3.9 at least. Then we have 1 teacher that was at the recognized level, and the recognized level looks to be almost 7,000, 700. And they have to have 55% of their students show growth, and their T-test has to be at least a 3.7. So...
You said the amount is determined by the district. What?
Campus, actually.
By the campus, by the district?
The amount of the bonus?
Yes.
Their bonus? That depends on the...
socioeconomic status of the district. So like
intermediate, elementary,
they're probably
they're going to get more because
they're going to have a chance. They're
it's based on that.
So they'll be getting maxed out probably.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because it was just the high school last year, right? But this year, it's all 4 campuses that are eligible to meet these.
How many teachers do you anticipate? Or do you
anticipate district-wide this year? Oh gosh, I don't know.
Okay, I don't know if you ever to that point or not yet.
I don't know yet.
It's going to take one person
Can all of them
get it all.
earn the money, or only certain, only one, or how they?
It's kind of amazing. We're a very unique district in that last year when we collected data for TIA, that we included, I'd say, almost 100% of our teachers on the high school campus. And that is the same that we're doing this year, district-wide, for all 4 campuses. So it's a lot of teachers, and
I love it.
You know, it's obviously by those amounts, it's definitely going to be worth it.
Sure.
Yeah. And so
That's
the goal
great.
is to increase, and it's going to fit with your tip plans percentage, so it's all going to be good.
Yeah.
But again, this plan that we presented that you have in front of you is for last year. So it's just, like he said, it's just for the high school. And we'll have to come back in April and submit to TIA a modified application for our spending plan to include all 4 campuses.
Okay.
So this is just for
This is just for high school for last year.
Congratulations.
I know that's awesome.
It's great.
I mean, she's put in a tremendous amount of work. It's
Yeah.
pretty incredible to see it, and so she deserves a lot of recognition for that. So. Which she's going to get if you guys.
And a little money. Okay, well, thank you. Very good. Okay, I need a motion to approve that.
Madam President, I move to approve the teacher incentive allotment spending plan for Devine High School.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion by Carl and a second by Henry to approve the incentive plan, spending plans. Sorry. All in favor, raise your right hand. So you're already up. Thank you. That passes 7-0. Next, consider and take possible action to approve the policy update 126. Okay, Dr. This was like this much for us to read.
So when you talk to TASB, they say this is the largest update ever created by TASB. There was 148 legal frameworks and 26 model local policies to consider. So to keep our current policy updated and in line with Texas Education Code, school boards must consider adopting local policies suggested by TASB, in fact, in Update 126. Any change in local policy must be acted upon by the board within an open meeting wherein the action is posted. So Update 126 included revisions to legal framework documents. We don't adopt legal framework. They create that for us since it is law. Corresponding changes to our local policies offered for consideration would address the following topics: board meetings and public comment, prohibition of certain activities by district contractors, cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, threshold for competitive bidding, designation of multi-occupancy private spaces, prohibition on personal services performed by administrators, employee leave, reasons for non-renewal, employee complaints, employee conduct, instructional plans, review of instructional materials, special education video monitoring, parent-teacher conferences, parent portal, release time courses, epinephrine delivery systems, and non-prescription medication. Notice to staff of threats, notification of child abuse and neglect, parents, student complaints, video audio monitoring of certain areas, public complaints, and weapons on district property.
I know y'all read every one of those, and you're prepared to vote. No, I really. Everybody that goes through these, and then you have to make corrections to all of our policies. It's quite a big deal, and I don't think I've ever seen it this much. It was a lot to look at, but we do want to approve them, get them done. So we'll take a motion for that.
Madam President, I move that the Board add, revise, or delete local policies as offered by TASB Policy Service for consideration according to the instruction sheet for TASB Localized Policy Manual, Update 126.
You don't have
it's
to.
Right here.
As listed.
As for
Okay, Candace.
Somebody second?
We got one.
No, didn't hear it.
I have a motion by Ally and a second by Candace to approve any revisions, additions, or deletions to these local policies. All in favor, raise your right hand. Thank you. 7-0. Okay, I think that completes our business for regular meeting. So, thank y'all for coming. We're going to go into closed session. It's 8:01, so the Board of Trustees begin at 8:01. We'll convene in closed session in accordance with Texas Open Meetings Act for the purpose of, do I need to read all that? No votes will be taken while in executive session. Thank you, guys. Very good job. Very good job. Enjoyed having your kid, Lysandra. We're glad to see you.